as a teacher, in earlier days, we could assess who's the weak student
Mhm.
and decide that, oh, they need some extra support. And then, if I was informed enough and I knew enough about what is out there, I
Mhm.
could recommend a particular program,
Mhm.
a tutoring program,
Mhm.
or a drill and practice program
100%. Yeah.
100 to deal
Mhm.
with that. Then things were moved one step further, where that drill and practice
Mhm.
was not just extra exercises.
Mhm.
It became a bit more intelligent,
Mhm.
if we want to call it intelligent, which
Mhm.
is just, if I understand properly, it's algorithm on the back
Sure.
end,
Algorithm based.
some
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
algorithm based.
Mhm.
So if they do this, then if they get this right, they move to the second level. It's gaming
Mhm.
anyway. It
Mhm.
is gaming aspects applied to teaching.
Mhm.
So even in earlier days, we
Mhm.
as teachers could benefit from technology
Mhm.
to help the student
Mhm.
in order to. I'm pulling on my keyboard. I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to
No
move it.
problem. Yeah.
I'm pressing on my keyboard.
Yeah. Sure.
So I go back to the idea that
Mhm.
we used that earlier, but at the present time, it's more glorified. It's faster.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
mind you, we
Mhm.
as teachers,
Mhm.
we always argued, we
Mhm.
always, I'm gonna use a term that shouldn't, but we always nagged. We
Uh-huh.
don't have enough time to
Okay.
support each and every student on their own.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent. Excellent.
we
Which is
always.
what we call that, what, personalized education, or what do we call that?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Or like as a faculty member and as a teacher at school, we always had the issue of I have
Mhm.
24 students or 30 students, sometimes even more. You're
Mhm.
asking me to make sure that each and every student gets what they need
Mhm.
in order to get to the best, because each one is at a different level.
Mhm.
Now, AI at the present time, I
Mhm.
can either look at it
Mhm.
as, oh, it's here to take my position or my job, as you said, because what is left for the teacher or
Yes, the
faculty,
human teachers, exactly. Yeah.
the human teacher,
Mhm.
or I can look at it as, oh, it's here to help me and support me in doing what I've always dreamt of doing but wasn't able to.
Mhm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Intelligent Future podcast. Today, I have a special guest, Professor Rana Tamim, who is a professor of education technology, and she's also the founder of EduBridges, which is the space where researchers and practitioners come together to share knowledge and expertise with the aim of advancing the field of education. Today, we engaged in lots of various questions and thoughts, and I hope that I came close to answering some of those questions that are on many people's minds. We asked about how education technology has evolved from how to design and publish education materials electronically all the way to what we have now in AI. Is AI fundamentally different? This is a question that Professor Tamim elegantly answered. What can AI do for educators and learners? Of course, so much has been said about AI personalizing education, offering rich feedback, allowing us to find knowledge in an easy and interactive way. It also offers so much for educators, lesson planning, assessment, and so on and so forth. The question that is also on people's minds is whether AI will ultimately replace educators. Are we going to reach a time where everybody can just learn on their own in the best way that suits them, as opposed to needing a human educator? If we decide that we still need human educators, what do human educators need to do in order to adapt? What do learners also need to do in order to adapt? Also, what about young educators? They are different and their needs are different from adult learners. Should we also embrace AI from a very young age, like for instance from first grade? How can we go about it? And last but not least, assessment. Do we still assess students' knowledge in the way we used to do prior to the revolution of generative AI, or do we just do the same? All of those questions and more, hopefully, are being answered in this interesting episode. So, without further ado, I welcome you to today's podcast. Welcome to the Intelligent Future podcast.
Hello, Dr. Muhammad. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thank you. And as usual, I always ask my guests what brought them where they are, like how they started their career from the very beginning to where they became, the experts they are today.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Similar to many who ended up in academia, I think, or in education, at least for me, it wasn't planned or intentional. It came as a result of multiple uh, diversions that life gave me.
Mhm.
So, the first thing, biology, I wanted to do medical school, like many in my generation, based on the impact of the whole everybody around.
Mhm.
Uh, got married. That was off the table at that time. So
Mhm.
decided I didn't want to stop. The only logical way was to go into education, but I didn't want to just go and teach. I wanted to support with further degrees. So I did my teaching diploma, my master's in science education, and taught at school for around 9 years. And then life took me to Saudi Arabia, where I was working as a science coordinator at a school where the computers were like, it was a very avant-garde school. Anybody who's listening to this from Saudi would know the school itself. It's the
Mhm.
Kingdom Schools.
Mhm.
And at that time, each student, 2000, the year 2000, each
Mhm.
student had her own laptop,
Mhm.
wireless, LAN WAN. It was the first time I used those terms,
Mhm.
but it was really magic for us. And I was supposed to help my teachers use it for science education. But unfortunately, it ended up being just a glorified PowerPoint.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody was using it as a PowerPoint, and it was killing the students with electronic chalk and talk, if we can say that.
Mhm.
Then life took me back to Canada, where I had the privilege of continuing my PhD also. But my experience with Kingdom Schools shifted me from the science education to the technology and education or educational technology. And I have to say that was just, I'm not, it is destiny, luck, blessings, Rabbil Alameen, everything combined. But it was a very good transition for me because I was joining the educational technology at a time where things were really changing.
Mhm.
Uh,
What year was
and
that, if you remember?
oh, definitely. 2003, I started my PhD. I
Excellent.
finished
Excellent.
it.
Excellent.
It was the time where things were really
I remember
starting to change.
exactly. I remember that time very clearly. And at that time, the concept of distant learning slash e-learning was rising,
Mhm.
was a big thing.
Exactly. And I was lucky because I did my PhD in educational technology at Concordia University, which was among the very few universities that offers a PhD in Edtech.
Mhm. Mhm.
And with the focus on either distance education or cybernetics.
Mhm.
Uh, Definitely, I didn't go into that. So all of that was very interesting. But at that time, the weakness was it was all theoretical. Within the context of my program that I was taking, I
Mhm.
was getting the research part, the theoretical part, what the literature says and whatnot,
Mhm.
but none of the courses were distance.
Mhm.
None.
Mhm.
So, fast forward, I finished 2009 and I had to come back to the Middle East.
Mhm.
I came back to Dubai and I was lucky enough and fortunate to
Mhm.
join Hamdan bin Hamad University at that time.
Mhm.
2009 was the year after it was announced as a university.
Hmm.
It was the first blended learning university.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So you were like kind of like one of the founders of
Anyway, I take pride in that.
Mhm.
Yes, at
Wonderful.
the first part, I stayed 2 years and then moved to Zayed.
Mm-hmm.
But that gave me the practice of online learning. So
Hmm.
I was fortunate to have the capacity to bring the theory and the practice and implement it.
Hmm.
Uh, Joined Zayed University 2011, 2012 in the College of Education, continued working with teacher preparation,
Hmm.
and saw the whole progress of moving from faculty to leadership positions. And now I've moved to another chapter in my life where I've started EduBridges to try and bring all those stakeholders. It's a small attempt of opening a space to
Hmm.
bring the stakeholders together to talk with each other. Because throughout it all, I think the biggest challenge I saw was each one was working separately.
Hmm.
School teachers alone, university profs alone, each college alone.
Hmm.
So this is where I am at the present time.
Wonderful. So EduBridge, this is the institution that you founded, and you're
Yes.
saying that you're bringing different people from different perspectives together,
Yeah.
perhaps to problem solve. What kind of problems are being solved in your institution, if you could cite some
Okay.
case studies?
I'll I'll be very honest.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting with very small problems.
Mm-hmm.
The big problem that we're trying to solve is actually getting people to talk with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just having a space where the teachers in the schools have access to the university profs,
Mm-hmm.
and the university profs can directly speak to the teachers in the school. Getting a space, the problem of connecting the people in the different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So I consider that that's the biggest problem we are tackling at the present time, which is very nice,
Mm-hmm.
the progress that we've made.
Mm-hmm.
The way we're tackling that is with a platform which is a community of practice platform.
Mm-hmm.
We have our community, which is uh, social media / LMS.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it is. We're using
Learning
Circle.
management system for people
Ex-
who don't know the term.
e-
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for correcting whenever I miss on something. Acronym overload.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that, and this year we're holding the second annual conference, which is uh, I take pride that it is one of the few. I'm not going to play the game of the first because I really don't know whether we're the first.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few conferences that brings together research and practice presentations in the Middle East and in the Gulf. So at the present time, our community is around 700 members big.
Oh,
We
wonderful.
have, yes, and it is from countries, all of the Gulf countries, and we have some from Europe, Turkey, North America. We have some from the
Mm-hmm.
from Georgia,
Excellent.
Tajikistan, and
Excellent.
whatnot.
Did you have any
And
from Scandinavian/Nordic countries? Because those are really famous for high quality education. I'm wondering.
uh, up until now, I don't think we have.
Hmm.
Maybe because I'm not really covering everything, but I
Uh-huh.
don't think I would have noticed. I would have
Excellent.
noticed. Hopefully, we
Excellent.
will.
I asked because
Uh,
I have experience there. Like I got my PhD in Denmark, and I just
Tell me
noticed.
about it then. Then
Yeah.
tell me about it. Please give
Well,
us
I
a
mean,
briefing.
my PhD was in computer science, so
Mhm,
I've always heard about the quality of education in Scandinavian/Nordic countries, especially Finland, and the fact that they focus so much on problem solving from a very young age and also realistic case studies. And
mhm.
their classrooms don't look typical, with benches and, the kids have more freedom. I'm not sure if this is right. I think their schools don't even have, sieges or walls because the kids know
Uh,
not to
I
leave
don't think
school.
it's
Yeah.
that much. I
Mhm.
don't think it's at that level yet, but it's very true. They are among the topmost, and most of what you said is
Mhm.
definitely true. The student uh, has a lot of flexibility,
Mhm.
freedom, and voice.
Mhm.
And it's a result of the flexibility, the freedom, and the voice that the teacher has.
Mhm. Mhm. Wonderful.
So a lot of
Yeah, so
people
it's
talk
somehow
about
it's reflected on the students.
it is reflected. That's it. That's it. Because the teachers in the Finnish and Nordic uh, countries,
Mhm.
they are empowered. They
Mhm.
have empowerment to make decisions. They are informed.
Mhm.
Let's just start. They are well qualified, well informed, well
Mhm.
prepared, and given
Mhm.
the agency they need to
Mhm.
actually provide the best for the students. So that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Fantastic, fantastic.
so
Okay.
back to the
Yeah.
conference, I just want
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
say that the conference, if you don't mind,
Yeah, sure, of
because
course.
that's what, to answer your question about what bridges or questions we are answering,
Mhm.
our first thing is getting the people to talk with each other, and I believe we're one step forward on that front.
Mhm. Mhm. Excellent. I think you are onto something great, and I wish you all the success.
Inshallah. Thank you.
I want to ask you a little bit about your knowledge and experience with educational technology, how it started and where it is right now, with everybody's talking about AI-powered
Mm.
education. So, yeah, what is your reflection on the evolution of educational technology?
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you. This is a very interesting question because educational technology, everybody starts thinking of, when you say the term educational technology, everybody thinks of what you do
Mhm.
more, the technology part, the hardcore
Mhm.
tech part. Educational technology is more on the soft
Mhm.
part where you're designing the instruction while using
Mhm.
the technological tools. And I think the progression, at least from my experience, I started 2003 getting involved without being informed. 2003 started the better understanding. Until now, there is one thing that is uh, cross-cutting themes
Mhm.
uh, throughout it all.
Mhm.
There's the hype that comes with a new technology where educators, similar to uh, all other fractions in the community, uh, think pick up on the hype
Mhm.
and pick it up, start working with it, believing that there's so much that we're going to gain out of it, and then, oops, no, this is not the solution, only to
Mhm.
have another tool come in and another hype. And
Mhm.
I think for those who are in the business or the corporate or the tech, you know about the Gartner hype cycle,
Mhm.
which goes up and down with so anybody interested can check it out. It's not research based, the Gartner hype cycle. However, it's an indication of the boom that any technology gets.
Mhm.
Everybody's using it, everybody's talking about it.
Mhm.
Perfect example from older days was the
Mhm.
iPad.
Mhm.
Everybody picked on the iPad. We know in
Mhm.
the UAE and the universities and schools, it was, oh, iPad. It was the what do we call it? The flavor of the year.
Yeah, if you have an iPad, then it means you're doing education right or something.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And everybody puts a lot of money into it. There was a government, at a government level, all universities, the federal institutions took the iPads, but nobody was prepared for it. High expectations. Then everybody hits sort of, I'm not going to say rock bottom, but there is an indication that there is uh, disillusionment. That's what they say. And then people continue using it, but now more on a mature level where it plateaus according to what it really helps. We've seen this in educational technology and in schools and universities over and over again.
Mhm.
Multiple things do this, and the smartboard,
Mhm.
that was another. How many smartboards are now just
They're not used, they're just standing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, earlier we could things throughout it all, the other cross-cutting theme is it's
Mhm.
always about the pedagogy and how
Mhm.
you are using the tool. If you're
Mhm.
strong with your understanding of how to teach,
Mhm.
then you can, after all, the whiteboard or the iPhone or the iPad or even the pen or a
Mhm.
field trip,
Mhm.
each of these is a
Mhm.
tool that a teacher
Mhm.
can or a faculty member can use
Mhm.
to support the student in the learning experience,
Mhm.
but it all depends on whether you know how to
Mhm.
deliver that.
Mhm.
With the AI now that we have, things are booming and moving at a much faster pace.
Mhm.
I don't think it's just the pedagogy per se, it's the pedagogy and more importantly, uh, the willingness and ability to be flexible and adaptable. We need to let go of certain ideas
Mhm.
more than before to
Mhm.
be able to move with a fast-paced thing.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm not sure if I answered part of
Yeah,
your
no, you,
question.
yeah, 100%. Let me ask you a question. Do you think AI is fundamentally different from all other types of tools you mentioned before? Or is it yet just another tool?
Uh, okay, I think for me,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say it's fundamentally different,
Hmm.
but I also wouldn't say it's the same.
Hmm.
Okay? And let me explain.
Hmm.
What we're doing with the AI now, our we were able to do many of this before.
Hmm.
Like the access to content,
Hmm.
organizing content, setting things up in a more proper write-up.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
It was there.
Hmm.
But at an introductory level, you
Hmm.
know. So, for example, Google Scholar, what is Google? Let's say just Google,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay?
Hmm.
Google allowed students to reach so much.
Hmm.
And even if I'm thinking of some people listening now would say, oh, but they couldn't cheat like now.
Hmm.
Guess what? They were cheating like now,
They
but
had
not.
their other methods. Yeah, of course.
Yes, they could compile and collate. Quillbot was another thing where you paraphrase a little bit. Like, okay, I'm gonna throw something at
Mhm.
spell check in Word.
Mhm. Mhm.
What is it? It's another form of whatever. But so the things that we were able to do were
Mhm.
already happening.
Mhm.
So it is a similar tool.
Mhm.
Fine. It's not like creating something out of nothing, because anybody who believes it's
Mhm.
creating something out of nothing, at least that's my understanding, is
Mhm.
wrong.
Mhm.
It's just taking information, repackaging, and changing it, but at a much faster pace, at a much smarter
Mhm.
level,
Mhm.
allowing us to benefit from it so much more.
Mhm.
And the bigger part, I think, that is fundamentally different is the speed. That's what is
Okay.
fundamentally different, at
Yes,
least in my opinion.
accessibility and speed, of course. But I do
Uh,
want to
may
ask
I
you.
say,
Yeah, of course.
I just want to highlight what I mean by speed. It's not just the accessibility, it's the speed with which it is progressing. So,
Mhm.
for example, and I want to clarify this.
Mhm.
Uh, in older days, we used to have a new tool come in.
Mhm.
The teacher, faculty member, and even the student would have some time to actually develop the skills and expertise,
Yes,
get used to it, make use of it, and see how I want to implement it.
exactly.
At the present time, we don't have that
Yeah,
luxury. Things are moving
every
very
day we
fast.
have tens or even hundreds of new tools.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's the fundamental difference, I think, in my
100%.
opinion.
Now, I'm someone who started researching educational bots or chatbots
Oh, nice.
even before the revolution of generative AI.
Hmm.
And I did, in fact, I wrote a systematic review on the topic, and that
Nice.
I highly cited, not necessarily because it's the best paper, it's just because of the topic being really hot right now. Now, the topic of educational chatbots taught me a little bit about what it is that those bots can do. Now, they can serve different roles that
Hmm.
traditionally were for human educators. So, for instance, they can
Yes.
serve as tutors, they can serve as assistant teachers. For instance, if a student is
Yes.
stuck on, understanding derivatives, right?
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
can just ask right away, can you explain this to me, break it down to me, and it will do it, and it will give it examples and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Or if a student wants to solve this mathematical equation, again, it can give the student hints, etc., etc. If you prompt it, if you tell it to use a Socratic approach, for instance,
Yes.
give the solution right away, it will, give hints, it will ask follow-up questions, etc., etc.
Yes.
So, and every day we have new tools. Prior to starting the podcast, we were discussing tools
Yes.
like Notebook LM, for instance, where
Yes.
instead of having to read, a paper or a book from the beginning until the end, you don't have to do that now. You can just upload
Yeah.
that document and chat with it. And it will, the AI can give you a visual mind map, or it can give you bullet points, a summary of that book, etc., etc. My question to you is like, especially when the AI agent or the AI bot can play some of those roles that were reserved for human educators. Uh, how does this affect the role of human educators now? Like, what is it that a teacher? Because in the traditional sense, the teacher, maybe the way you and I were educated,
Yes.
the teacher comes to the class and he or she starts explaining things, break things down for us, show us the mathematical equations step by step,
Yes.
etc., etc. But those things, AI agents can do them without even making mistakes, most likely, and and it can repeat it for us in various ways to help us understand. You can, for instance, ask
Yeah.
AI bot, hey, explain it to me like you would explain it to a 6 year
Hmm.
old or something like that. So I'm just saying that the technology, education technology is progressing very fast to the point where I feel like, okay, what is left now for human educators?
Okay. An excellent question, and so interesting. Your reference to the bots.
Mhm.
I wanna go one step back.
Sure.
Okay. As a teacher, in earlier days, we could assess who's the weak student
Mhm.
and decide that, oh, they need some extra support. And then, if I was informed enough and I knew enough about what is out there, I
Mhm.
could recommend a particular program,
Mhm.
a tutoring program,
Mhm.
or a drill and practice program
100%. Yeah.
100 to deal
Mhm.
with that. Then things were moved one step further, where that drill and practice
Mhm.
was not just extra exercises.
Mhm.
It became a bit more intelligent,
Mhm.
if we want to call it intelligent, which
Mhm.
is just, if I understand properly, it's algorithm on the back
Sure.
end,
Algorithm based.
some
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
algorithm based.
Mhm.
So if they do this, then if they get this right, they move to the second level. It's gaming
Mhm.
anyway. It
Mhm.
is gaming aspects applied to teaching.
Mhm.
So even in earlier days, we
Mhm.
as teachers could benefit from technology
Mhm.
to help the student
Mhm.
in order to. Oh, I'm pulling on my keyboard. I
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to
No
move it.
problem. Yeah.
I'm pressing on my keyboard.
Yeah. Sure.
So I go back to the idea that
Mhm.
we used that earlier, but at the present time, it's more glorified. It's faster.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
mind you, we
Mhm.
as teachers,
Mhm.
we always argued. We
Mhm.
always. I'm gonna use a term that shouldn't, but we always nagged. We
Uh-huh.
don't have enough time to
Okay.
support each and every student on their own.
Excellent.
Yes,
Excellent. Excellent.
we
Which is what
always.
we call that, what, personalized education, or what do we call that?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Or like as a faculty member and as a teacher at school, we always had the issue of I have
Mhm.
24 students or 30 students, sometimes even more. You're
Mhm.
asking me to make sure that each and every student gets what they need
Mhm.
in order to get to the best, because each one is at a different level.
Mhm.
Now, AI at the present time, I
Mhm.
can either look at it
Mhm.
as, oh, it's here to take my position or my job, as you said, because what is left for the teacher or
Yes, the
faculty,
human teachers, exactly. Yeah.
the human teacher,
Mhm.
or I can look at it as, oh, it's here to help me and support me in doing what I've always dreamt of doing but wasn't able to.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or that's what I claimed.
Uh-huh.
Or that's what I
Which is
claimed.
providing that extra support that certain
Exactly.
students needed.
So if I want to actually look at the role of the faculty member, okay,
Mhm.
the role of the faculty member still remains
Mhm.
extremely central.
Mhm.
The bot will never know which student
Mhm.
needs what on its own.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's one
You
part.
have to feed it, you have
I
to give it data. Yeah.
I have to give the data. Moreover, uh, our students don't flourish only based on information.
Mhm.
On
Mhm.
the contrary, we're seeing day in, day out how much they need that human connection. And I always argue that
Mhm.
the COVID was
Mhm.
the perfect proof
Mhm.
that tools will never take the place of human beings
100%.
when it comes to that educational component. I
Mhm.
know that at the school level, there
Mhm.
was, when the COVID hit, everybody was talking about, oh, things will never go back to normal, things will never go back to the schools or universities we
Mhm.
had before. The schools, they went back to what they were because realistically speaking, for those who are not in the education context,
Mhm.
originally, like in the school system,
Mhm.
schools, unfortunately, a big portion of why the schools remain as they are today is
Mhm.
because of economic reasons.
Mhm. Mhm.
We need the kids to go somewhere
Yes.
so that the parents can go and work. Full stop. So it will
That's
not,
definitely one of the reasons for sure. Yeah.
this is one of the reasons. One of the reasons why the school system was not able to evolve beyond what it is at the present time. We have homeschooling, we have online learning, we have so many,
Mhm.
and people are moving to those.
Mhm.
But the bigger component why the brick and mortar school remains central
Mhm.
has economic reasons behind it. Now, that doesn't apply for universities.
Mhm.
Universities can go online 100% because we're grown-ups, we're
Correct.
dealing with grown-ups.
Correct.
But we see that students wanted to go back to the face-to-face because
Mhm.
the human interaction is key,
Mhm.
and that technology component will not give me everything. It
Correct.
puts more pressure on the faculty member
Mhm.
now
Mhm.
to think out of the box. How can I keep my presence and how to design the teaching to balance both?
Wonderful. So let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Me as a faculty member or any faculty members or any teachers, even pre-college teachers who are watching the show, they're thinking about the added value that they can bring
Mm-hmm.
to the classroom, given all these amazing AI-powered educational tools that we have right now, and they will continue to get more developed, more advanced. What should be my added value right now? I think you mentioned something called human connection,
Yes.
mentorship. Perhaps I could conclude from your talk.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to give us like guidance, for faculty members, school teachers on the added value that they can bring.
Okay. Um, in my opinion,
Mhm.
and what the research also says, there is a part that has to do with offloading, offload the lecture part,
Mhm.
offload anything that has to do with, similar to what we are talking about AI, offloading some of the technical components of our daily work.
Mhm.
Offload the lecture, offload the content,
Mhm.
uh, to the student, to the AI to help the student.
Mhm.
Focus on the practice,
Mhm.
sorry, focus on the practice, focus on addressing the needs, creating
Mhm.
interactive and engaging discussions with your students,
Mhm.
solving problems that are not the solve the problem and give me the write-up. No,
Mhm.
flipped classroom, we have the opportunity to have a flipped classroom galore, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, make the time that you sit with your students in the class matter with things that cannot be given
Hmm.
outside.
Hmm.
And this is this is uh, this is very tricky
Hmm.
because if you are used, the easiest thing is to prepare a PowerPoint
Yes.
and go into a classroom
Mhm.
and read that out loud and lecture
Correct.
it.
Correct. Exactly.
That's it. The
Exactly.
tougher part is to say, okay, this is the information. What does this mean?
Mhm.
And start having discussions with your students
Mhm.
that don't have that right wrong answer,
Mhm.
that talk to them about things that are not pre-prepared.
Mhm.
And that's where the teacher needs to focus on. So as a faculty member, my advice is start working on flipping your classroom where
Mhm.
consider AI. It's happening, it's happening.
Wonderful.
Our students are
Wonderful.
using that.
Yes, they are.
So
Whether they are using it correctly or not, we don't know, honestly.
definitely, but that's where it comes back to me.
Hmm.
I will need to give them uh, I will need to design the learning experience
Hmm.
in a way that I offer them the capacity to use it in a right way.
Hmm.
So, in other words, literature reviews. I'm teaching a research methods course,
Excellent.
University of Toronto. Fine.
Excellent. Hmm.
Literature review.
Hmm.
If you are offering, we definitely know that the students are going to use AI for those literature reviews. And if they don't use it, then there's something odd
Hmm.
because it's a tool that's out there. So
Hmm.
rather than me coming in and saying, you're not supposed to use it,
Hmm.
fine,
Hmm.
I model how to use it properly
Hmm.
instead of saying nothing about AI and telling them you can't have AI use support.
Hmm.
They're going to go without knowing, they're going to use ChatGPT
Hmm.
because that's the thing that they know most about. They might
Yes.
use another tool here or there.
Hmm.
But instead, I come in and I offer them an overview about consensus. I offer them an overview about site. These are tools that are literature review focused
Hmm.
so that they are using AI to
Hmm.
properly understand the literature, summarize it, and whatnot,
Wonderful.
rather than using hallucinations from ChatGPT.
Wonderful.
So this is my job as a faculty member and as how I see it.
Excellent. So basically, you're saying we should normalize AI in education. We should not
Uh,
restrict it or ban it in any way or shape or form. Accept it. It's there. Students use it. And as such, think about your added value. You mentioned offloading lecturing to the AI and
mhm.
engaging students in an active learning session, problem
Sort of.
solving,
Yes,
discussion,
yes.
things of that nature. Okay.
There are so many other methods or
Mhm.
so many other suggestions, like experiential learning. We're always talking about experiential learning.
Mhm.
This is not directed towards faculty members because a faculty member can't make that decision.
Mhm.
But a university can actually
Mhm.
think more seriously about, okay, how can I make use AI to offer better support for experiential learning?
Mhm.
Design certain courses that focus on being out there in the field because we all know, particularly in the Gulf region, let's
Mhm.
bring it back to,
Mhm.
particularly in the Gulf region, a lot of our graduates
Mhm.
finish university, they have a very strong foundation or a very good foundation with
Mhm.
regards to the knowledge,
Mhm.
but they lack the practical experience.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, because by nature of how things are, they
Mhm.
haven't worked student jobs as they are growing. They haven't been in the field. The concept of shadowing might not be common over so there are multiple aspects.
Mhm.
Experiential learning is another approach. So
Mhm.
flipped classroom, experiential learning, project-based. At the present time,
Wonderful.
we have a great issue, a
Mhm.
big issue, and the Middle East and the countries in the Middle East, like the United Arab Emirates, has been doing huge initiatives to
Mhm.
support the development of Arabic content
Correct.
and spread the Arabic culture,
Correct.
yes,
Correct.
and the Arabic content as such. We look at Wikipedia. One page is in English. Once you flip it to the Arabic, it becomes this much, and it is copy pasted from an article
Hmm.
most of the time in the Arabic. Uh, we can have project based where we can, depending on the subject matter area,
Wonderful.
we can actually have the students develop Arabic content for that. So
Mhm.
there's so much we just need to think out of the
That's
box.
very enlightening. I really like it a lot. I want to focus on uh, a slice of the population that is highly important, which is children,
Yes,
K-12 education, especially the very young ones. We're talking about
yes.
primary school.
Mhm.
I heard from some educators that it's best not to give access to AI to those kinds of children because early on you really need to form your learning abilities. Even that includes memorization, that includes working out problems. And if we give access to AI tools to those children, they'll just simply copy the problem to the AI, AI answers, paste it,
Yeah.
and that's it. There isn't any learning happening. So would you be in favor of banning AI for, I don't know, from grade 1 to grade 6 children or K-12 education? What are your thoughts on this?
Uh, I'm not in favor of banning anything,
Okay.
okay? And I'm not in favor of normalizing everything.
Okay. We need
It needs
somewhere in between, right? Yeah.
somewhere in between with a scaffolding
Hmm.
or scaffolded approach.
Hmm.
I'm gonna give an example. I was yesterday speaking with uh, a young mother,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
talking about how we deal with our kids. Educationally speaking, we
Hmm.
know that kids will come and ask questions, a lot of questions.
Hmm.
And we know that some individuals give face value,
Hmm.
like, and
Yeah, surface
sometimes
level. Yeah.
surface level, or
Hmm.
sometimes even misleading
Hmm.
answers just to get rid of it so that they don't delve
Hmm.
into the
Hmm.
tougher
Hmm.
answers, especially when it comes to some specific topics
Hmm.
that are a bit still taboo.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, the problem is if we do that, if
Hmm.
we answer a mistaken, in an inappropriate answer, a wrong answer, or if we don't offer the proper uh, answer, we're only kicking the can down the road. And we're not just kicking it down the road, we're kicking it down the road, and it is going to get a lot of
Hmm.
rubbish along the way that connects with it. So, in other words, if I don't inform my students, or
Hmm.
if I don't get them to use AI,
Hmm.
what's going to happen if I ban it? By the time they get to middle school,
Hmm.
it's going to come.
Hmm.
Forget about the fact that they have access to it at home.
Yes, they
Okay?
do. They do.
They
Exactly.
do. They're
Yeah.
going to use it, and they're going to use it inappropriately.
Hmm.
And I always compare this when it comes to educational technology because
Hmm.
AI is not the first thing we think of banning.
Hmm. Hmm.
Social media was thought of being
Yes.
banned earlier,
Yes.
iPhones and whatnot.
Hmm.
But what happens is when I ban totally,
Hmm.
our kids go out, use it inappropriately, and then we are annoyed at why are they doing that? We
Hmm.
didn't tell them how to use it in a better way.
Oh.
Why? It's not their fault. And
However, Professor Rana, sorry to interrupt you here, but it's just like this
mm,
thought that's raging in my mind right now is that little kids, they need time to develop a strong will, as
yes,
into controlling, because they probably don't know fully what's best for them. So
exactly.
if we, even if we tell them, hey, you need to use AI in that way, and not ask it to give you the solution right away, they may just choose the easy way at home, especially, and ask it right away and give the solution. So as such, like, do we then need parental guiding and teacher guiding all the time, and not give that full 100% independence, especially with children again between grades 1 and 6?
I fully agree with you.
Mhm.
And when I say we don't ban, it doesn't mean we give them ChatGPT as it is. There are things that need to be developed. Let let's be let's start off with a student in the first grade is not even interested in ChatGPT.
Hopefully not.
They don't know how to use it. Definitely. They're
Mhm,
interested in screen time. They're interested in other things.
mhm,
The idea is we need to introduce, I'm not saying ChatGPT or AI in its final format, but it needs to be introduced slowly. I'll give an
mhm.
example. And mind you, I don't know the answers. We
Mhm.
are creating this together as
Yeah,
we move.
exactly. Exactly.
Uh, for example, we have the Google search,
Mhm,
okay?
mhm, mhm.
Google search is not supposed to be used by elementary students.
No, absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. When it first came out, that was the only search
Mhm,
out there.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
A little bit later, there were particular search engines. I think there was kids search, multiple uh, age appropriate
mhm,
search engines and search tools. I
mhm,
teach them with that.
mhm,
I introduce that component.
mhm,
Uh, Similarly, at the present time, ChatGPT is what's out there. We
mhm,
need to focus and have, and that's why I always say we need to talk with each other.
mhm,
School teachers, parents, and IT individuals
mhm.
or the AI gurus.
Yes,
There
the
need
tool creators, basically. Yeah.
the tool creators. There needs to be a discussion. What are the needs of the early childhood? What
Mhm,
is appropriate? What's not appropriate?
mhm,
What tool can help you rather than
mhm,
hurt you?
mhm,
But we need to introduce the children slowly because
mhm,
I see that as vaccination.
mhm.
What are we doing with the vaccine with our children?
Yeah,
We're giving
protecting them
them
from future danger. Yeah.
from the future danger by introducing that microbe
Yes.
early on in life so that they can protect themselves.
Mhm,
Similarly,
mhm,
so we are in need of overall
mhm,
stakeholders coming together.
mhm,
Again, I agree with you.
mhm,
We cannot give them as is. We
mhm,
need to develop the skills, expertise, and
mhm,
scaffolded
mhm,
process. And that's why an elementary teacher is more qualified to tell you what I can use and what I can't use.
mhm,
But don't ban everything
mhm,
and don't give everything.
mhm, mhm.
It's a time where
We need
it's
creative
interesting.
solutions. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm,
And it's not easy. I'm not saying it is easy.
mhm,
We
mhm,
won't find the solution overnight, but we need to
mhm.
make it work. That's my opinion.
Wonderful. I want to ask you about adult learners, whether they are college students or someone like me
Mhm.
who continues to
Mhm.
learn. I want to learn until the last day of my life. Um, it's getting tempting now to short circuit the learning
Yes.
because anyways, AI knows it all,
Mhm.
and I can just ask it
Yes.
to give me the answer. Uh, if you want to give motivation to adult learners about persistence on learning skills,
Mhm.
that even AI quote unquote, masters
Can
those
help.
skills, but we still need to learn it. Like, for instance, math. I think AI can solve a lot of mathematical equations, calculus, derivatives, all of that, as an
Mhm.
example, or coding, for instance, in computer science. And it passes medical exams. I think we all know that, even better than some top students.
Yes.
The motivation now to learn. Um, do we need to do that, or do we need to learn another skill? For instance, how to prompt the AI? What do you think?
Okay. I'll flip the question.
Mhm.
Okay. Since when have you been teaching at the university level, Dr. Muhammad?
12 years, I want to say. 6 years
12
in the
years.
US and 6 years in Zayed University.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome. So during those 12 years, early on, in the first 2 years,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
2 years back in the States and now at Zayed,
Mhm.
did you have a challenge with some of the students, if not most of the students? What's the motivation for me to learn this?
Of course, of course. There are
So,
some students who are interested in just graduating very fast, and
uh,
yeah. Mhm.
totally.
Mhm.
So human nature remains the same.
Mhm.
The individuals who will it's at a higher level. I'm not trying to undermine
Mhm.
uh, the challenge that we are facing.
Mhm.
All I'm trying to highlight is that the challenges that we believe at the present time are showing up because of AI have
Mhm.
always been there.
Mhm.
It's just we need to think about them more.
Mhm.
And that's why AI is forcing us to
Mhm.
look at our educational practices more,
Wonderful.
uh, in particular. So when it comes to motivation,
Mhm.
it all falls back to the design and the ability of the faculty member
Mhm.
to bring real life problems and issues
Mhm.
so that the student
Mhm.
feels the interest and the motivation
Mhm.
to get there. If it continues being about solving the derivative only, there's no
Yeah, without any
motivation
connection to a real world problem.
whatsoever. Exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Mhm.
So there needs the motivation remains. How can I motivate my student to
Mhm.
feel the need for this content?
Mhm.
Uh, it's faster for them to know the knowledge now,
Mhm.
but real world problems, interdisciplinarity,
Mhm.
bringing things together. Like, for example, the other day,
Mhm.
uh, you've watched the movie Martian?
No.
The Martian, Matt Damon. It's a science fiction
Mhm.
thing, and it's about a trip to Mars.
Mhm.
Uh, and I just finished a book by the same author,
Mhm.
Project Hail Mary, that's coming out uh, as a movie
Mhm.
very soon.
Mhm. Wonderful.
It's extremely science fiction,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
totally science fiction,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, it's very scientific. It's talking about like it's very, very, very scientific, but the way
Mhm.
it's written is
Mhm.
so accessible to the reader. It's so
Mhm.
understandable, very nice.
Mhm.
And throughout it all, I was thinking, if I was giving a science course, I would love to assign this book as a reading for, or even the movie when it comes out,
Mhm.
for my students at a university level and delve into all the discussions that can come out of this,
Mhm.
just for them to get an interest in, oh, derivatives and centrifugal force is not just about a problem in the test that I need to
Wonderful. Yeah,
solve,
no, it
you
can be
know?
used to solve an interesting problem. Yeah.
So we need to think out of the box, in short.
Mhm. Mhm. Wonderful. As we're running out of time, I don't want to take more of your time. However, just I have a question about assessment.
Please.
This we could take hours actually discussing this, but I like to keep my podcast short.
Mhm.
Assessment. Um, you know the traditional methods of assessment. We have quizzes, we have essay questions, multiple choice questions, etc., etc.
Yes, 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 yes.
A lot of educators where I work and abroad are calling for a fundamental change in assessments. There are people that are talking about, for instance, requiring proof of work. So when you
Yes.
produce a report or a deliverable to me, uh, show me how you built it, how you made it. So that's number one. And also proof of understanding. I'm going to, check your understanding to see if you truly understand what's written
Yes.
in that deliverable. Is that the solution, or do we need more innovative solutions for assessment?
Uh, there's no magic wand.
Mhm.
There's no one answer.
Mhm.
In a perfect world, we would be able to answer all of these in a short
Mhm.
answer. But realistically, we need this and a lot more.
Mhm.
Uh, and it depends on, we have to go back to, what am I trying to assess?
Mhm.
What skills am I testing for?
Mhm.
And how can I attest and measure them or test them appropriately?
Mhm.
So, am I testing spelling? We all
Mhm.
know that at the present time, all papers that are written, even for a long time,
Mhm.
were spell checked. Yes,
Yes, exactly.
that's it.
Yeah, no,
So,
almost no one makes a spelling mistake on a paper or
خلصنا. If they do have a
the
mistake,
fault.
it's a mistake because they didn't know the context within which it came,
Yeah, yeah,
whether it.
yeah.
So, uh, that being said,
Mhm.
uh, we need to think of what am I testing for? What's the skill? Am I testing for memory?
Mhm.
Then definitely I would need the proof of memory.
Yes.
If I'm testing for their ability to work in a group, why do I need memory? So
Mhm.
we need to go back to the basics. And we all know a lot of our tests and a lot
Mhm.
of our assessment methods
Mhm.
were just for grades and were created for the ease of
Mhm.
whatever we're doing.
Mhm.
And we're seeing it because our graduates go to the workforce and
Mhm.
they don't know how to do what they are expected to do.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's where we need newer alternative assessment.
Okay.
I don't believe in ungrading. There's this big move towards ungrading in North America where we're not going to use grades. No, we need grades. I need the
Yeah, actually, I
doctor.
wanted to ask you that. Like, will AI
It's
cause us to not need assessment at all at some point? But
on the
apparently, your
contrary.
answer is no. Okay.
On the contrary, we still need assessment, but we need to assess what needs to be. So, for example, I'll give an example, and this could be the final one unless you have something else
Mhm. Mhm.
to ask about. But research, as faculty members, we're
Mhm.
interested in research. Fine.
Correct. Yeah.
In earlier years, can you imagine the
Yeah.
uproar that statisticians had when SPSS became available for all other researchers
Who are not statisticians. Yeah.
who are not statisticians?
Yeah.
Like at that time, I can only imagine how annoyed they were. We have studied for so long and we calculate uh, a factor
Okay. So
analysis.
they kind of like felt that they lost value or something. Okay.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
But realistically speaking, what happened was
Mhm.
we moved to, and there was the fear that now anybody can put numbers
Mhm.
into the system, into SPSS or whatever, and
Mhm.
publish a paper.
Mhm.
Now, what happened was there was more attention now to the design
Mhm.
of the research.
Mhm.
Okay, now my analysis is not a major problem.
Mhm.
Mind you, I need to know what I'm analyzing,
Mhm.
and the statistician is still needed, but
Mhm.
it's making it faster, and I have more knowledge being achieved
Mhm.
because now I have more research being done.
Mhm.
There's still the weak research, which is, the design is not good.
Mhm.
It gets published in a weak journal.
Mhm.
Okay, there's that part. Now, at the present time,
Mhm.
we're seeing a similar shift.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be worried about the write-up. Dr. Muhammad, we know how many write-ups were not accepted because English was my second language,
Yeah.
let's say, for the
Yeah.
researcher.
Yes. Yeah.
And we had an editor.
Mhm.
Even big journals were willing to have editors
Mhm.
review. So
Mhm.
we're just cutting it down. Now,
Mhm.
I see the way I see it moving.
Mhm.
Big journals, solid peer-reviewed journals will be focusing more on the design, the
Mhm.
reliability, and the validity.
Yeah, that
Because
makes
guess
sense.
what? The write-up, okay, fine, now I have somebody to help me.
Exactly.
Let me focus on the
Yeah,
essence.
the real value that I bring. I'm not
Exactly,
an English, philosopher or
exactly,
language expert or something. Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
exactly. So that's it, because
Mhm.
AI will not create the numbers for you.
Mhm.
You still have to go. And we will have checks and balances.
Mhm.
I give the example of the credit card.
Mhm.
First time I used the credit card, I was so worried what will happen. Move forward, there are checks and balances, and now we're annoyed at the two-level authentication, two-factor authentication,
Mhm.
but we have it. So things will come back,
Uh-huh.
things will develop. I'm not worried. Things
100%.
will develop.
Okay, one last thing, very quickly.
Please.
Do you have a piece of advice for educators and learners, just as a final thought here?
Uh, I would say stop fighting.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say jump from a high cliff,
Hmm.
but each on their own level of comfort,
Hmm.
start exploring, experimenting. We can never have a major shift that will change everything, but we don't have the luxury of sitting on the side and questioning things all the time
Hmm.
because the train is moving
Yes.
and it'll leave us behind.
100%. With that, I would like to end our podcast for today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Professor.
Dr. Muhammad, for the invite. Thank you.
Yeah.